Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at the camera that I'm pretty sure I use the most of any film camera that I have, and that is my Praktica Super TL3. Now this Praktica Super TL3 I've had for a little while, probably 2 years or so, and it's been a workhorse of a camera for me. Honestly, it's the SLR camera that I use absolutely the most without question, and probably the camera that I've taken the most pictures with. And I'd say the reason for that is because it is just a hardy, sturdy camera that does not give me issues. It has a really clean winding shutter, sounds good, feels good, and just works great. It has a Hotshoe, it has a serviceable number of shutter speeds, wind action, it's got some great, just classic SLR features, and I got it for a great price too. And these are available, I've seen these on eBay for like 50 bucks, usually no more than like 75 to 100 bucks. You can get one of these and they're in pretty good shape. So let's take a look at this camera and see why I like it. So for those who aren't familiar with Praktica, they were a camera brand that was made by Pentagon in East Germany back in the Cold War days. And so this was a, sort of like communist SLR camera. It was not very beloved in the West. They were sort of the cheaper version of if you think of the Canons and the Nikons and the Pentax, all of those cameras that were coming out in the latter half of the 1900s, and they were, really having some advanced features. This camera was pretty middle of the road. It doesn't have crazy features for 1975. It does have a light meter. The only thing I'll say is that inside of this door here on the bottom is a mercury battery, or at least I assume what remains of one. And so I've been unnerved about opening that door to think of what chemical cloud of mercury might exist inside of there. So I just keep that door shut and don't think about it too much. But there is a light meter, and the way that it's operated is just if you have a battery or a replacement of a battery in there, you press down on this key here, which then activates the auto stop down mechanism, and you're able to get a preview and see the light meter, which is like a needle inside the viewfinder that tells you if you're over or underexposed. And then your shutter on Praktica's, a unique thing is that they're right here. I know when I showed this camera to my dad and asked him to take a picture with it, he was immediately trying to press a shutter up here that didn't exist. The shutter on Praktica's is on the front. And I'm not sure quite what the rationale is for that, but I guess it's, sort of ergonomic. It's there as opposed to having your finger all the way up here. It's already part of the grip to a certain extent. As I mentioned before, this camera has a Hotshoe. I actually use this quite frequently. I have this cheap little JCPenney strobe that I tend to use with it for specific sort of flash photography looks. I'll show a couple of those pics on screen now. But this camera itself has a solid number of shutter speeds. It's got 500 down to 1, and then bulb as well, and a flash setting too. So, overall a good number of shutter speeds. Let's say we want to do the 60, or let's say we want to do the 1. So it has, a solid number of shutter speeds. But the real benefit of this camera, and any of the Praktica cameras in my mind, is really what's under the hood here. And that is our M42 screw mount. And this screw mount is probably one of the most universally used mounts for cameras. So the M42 mount, I believe, was created by Pentagon, but it was really popularized later by Pentax, the Japanese SLR camera manufacturer. But really, what you need to know for this camera is just that you can host a dizzying number of lenses on it. Here we have a Pentax Super Multi-Coated Takumar 28mm f3.5 lens, which I use often. Here is the venerable Helios 44-2 lens, which people know as a swirly bokeh monster, and it is an all-around fun lens to use. Similarly, in the swirly bokeh and Soviet realm, here is a Ter 11. This is a 135 f2.8, but it's a bokeh monster. It has inside perfectly round aperture blades, which can help you get some really cool bokeh balls in the back of your shots. But then, like, on the other end of the spectrum, this is just an off-brand sort of lens that I got with this camera, actually, and it's a Marexar CX. It's a 28 to 200 zoom lens, so like when you pull it, there's a pretty good amount of lens here. I've gotten reasonable pictures with it. Like, I don't necessarily use this very often, but if I need sort of a cheap zoom lens for my film cameras, I tend to pull this out because it gets the job done, honestly. And again, these are all very different lenses from very different manufacturers in different parts of the world. You can use Zeiss lenses on this, the Carl Zeiss Jena lenses. There's like a whole bunch of lenses that you can use on these cameras, and they all work because this M42 mount was fairly universal. One of the great things about this lens mount, though, is just how easy it is to adapt to your DSLR or your mirrorless camera, because the screw mount, you can just get a ring adapter that screws right on and boom, it's on your camera. So it's really so easy. And even when you're using on your camera here, like, let's drop this Pentax lens on, screw it in, it's on, done, easy. Want to take it off? Just unscrew it. It's truly that easy. This one has, again, this stop down mechanism here that you're able to activate, and that lets you have stop down capability from your pin here. So why then do I take so many pictures with this? Why is this the camera that I use the most? And I think it's because, number one, I got it for a great price. I think it has the look. I really like the strap that I got for it. But also that this camera works is something to not like really balk at. The frame counter works on it. The slow speeds work on it. The stop down works on it. The Hotshoe works on it. The prism's clear. It's really like, you know, it might sound like kind of bare bones for a camera, but by the same token, this camera's in great shape, and I think it works really well. It has just, you know, a good amount of life left in it. And so I adore this camera, and I shoot it all the time because when I need an SLR that's going to just be able to get the job done, I say, yeah, give me the Praktica, and then I'll pick whatever lens I want to go on it. And it's really that easy. So I'll show you how to drop some film into this camera because I know that's always something I like to do in my videos. So here we have some Kodak Ultramax 400, which has been my test roll here for a while now. If we pull our back open like so, we just need to make sure that our spool is aligned properly, which on this camera I believe means just having it flat like this so that the wires are on the side. Take your film, drop it in, lock it in, pull it across to the green line over here. You can see the green dot right there. There are some teeth here, so just pass the film onto those teeth as you can find them. It might take a little wiggling to get it to go down into that area. Let's see. There we go. That's it. And I might have to just, I have it a little far, so let me just guide that film leader out a little. Oh, I'm making a mess of it here. Yeah, so there we go. Film's on, ready to go, and it's really that easy, and I think it's great. Now all you have to do is, once you've fired off your shot and you've gone through the whole roll with your back still shut, you press the clutch on the bottom there, and then you're able to pull up on the knob here, rewind it, get it to go back into the canister. It's so smooth, it's so easy, and I think that's just why this camera means so much to me, because for all the lenses that I can shoot on it, it's so low maintenance and so easy to use. And like, the only thing is I wish this had a 1000 speed on it. My Praktica LTL3 does have the 1/1000th, but that one has a little bit of an advance issue at the end of the roll. I've found that it starts to double expose a little bit, which can kind of look cool, but like that's not really what I want. So this camera is reliable for me, and I think that's the #1 reason that I bring it everywhere. I do everything with it, and I'm really a big fan of it. So if you're looking for an SLR camera, do not overlook a Praktica Super TL3. It may be just what you're looking for. So that's all we have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, please comment. Let me know if you have one of these cameras or anything like it. Happy to answer any of your questions, of course, but if not, we'll see you next time.